Our next group, Aletha, Monterrey, Mexico, Tecnológico de Monterrey.
We live in a society that revolves around energy and sustainability. Nowadays, the creation of new and ecological technologies is mandatory. Today, we are here to present a bioenergetic. Do you imagine a country without energy? A world without black gold? Mexico ranks at the 11th place of consumption of fossil fuels, causing an accelerated depletion of oil. According to the Mexican Energy Department, Mexico has proven oil reserves for 10 years. But what does this mean? This means that we only have proven reserves for 2023. Despite that we live in a country that is rich in biodiversity, Mexico will only supply the 9.5% of fuels from those that came from renewable sources, while countries like Brazil make 38, Sweden 85, and the 90% of all those fuel sold in the United States were blended with bioethanol. The demand of biofuels in the late years is increasing exponentially. It is expected that Mexico will have a demand of 3 billion gallons, the United States 20 billion, and the European Union will have a demand of 16 billion gallons of bioethanol by 2020.
That is why we present Aletha. We are a company that produces bioethanol by cultivation, fermentation, and distillation of microalgae. We generate a sustainable energy alternative for the production and the distribution of bioenergy. But why our product is better? We are the first Mexican company and the second around the globe that produce bioethanol with feedstock which does not compete with the food industry as the one that came from sorghum, sugarcane, and corn. Our bioethanol is produced from microalgae, an autotrophic microorganism that doesn't need arable lands and wait for a proper season of the year. This means that we can produce bioethanol 24/7, the entire year. We're proud to say that we are a green company, but not only because we produce a bioenergetic, also because our manufacturing process. In the stage of the cultivation of microalgae, we're going to use wastewater, and at the end of this process, all this wastewater is going to be cleaned for all those chemicals that affect our environment. Another advantage is that the consumption of bioethanol helps to reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases by a 35%. But the most important advantage that we have is that we have the lowest cost of goods sold than the other companies that are already producing ethanol. The topic of fuels is a global issue that requires an immediate and sustainable solution. In order to create a clean and ecological solution, we joined this team of engineers and research team: Roberto Parra, Cintia Galicia, Yaira Malacara, Hermilio Guerra. They all come from Mexico. We're proud to have these engineers and team research in our company. But we also need the support in other areas like marketing, finance, business model, strategy of the market, and the most important matter, the globalization of our business. That is why we find the support in this international team of philosophy doctors on business administration. They have analyzed our business plan, validated and support our business idea. Amin Soheli from Turkey, Karin Hellerstadt from Sweden, Massimo Bau, Italy, Thomas Tyron from Germany, and Grisela Cortez from Mexico. We joined this team because we know that an entrepreneur is the one that finds the resources in order to achieve their dreams. Their experience and knowledge allow us to create the best process and product in the market.
Thanks to the energy reform in Mexico, starting in 2012, Mexico is going to blend bioethanol and gasoline in order to be sold in the states of San Luis Potosí, Veracruz, and Tamaulipas. So our potential customer is Pemex and all those refineries at home and abroad. Pemex is investing $750 million of bioethanol by making contracts for 10 years with preference for Mexican companies. In this first stage of blending bioethanol and gasoline, Pemex is going to produce and sell 2 million gallons daily of fuel with bioethanol. Thank you for this reform, Mexico will import gasoline from other countries, which will create the possibility to sell our product to different companies outside the country. Countries like United States, Sweden, and Brazil, which are the biggest consumers of bioethanol around the globe. For example, here we can see that a graph of the demand versus the production of bioethanol in the United States projected by 2020. Given the characteristics of our product, it cannot be a product also for these refineries. It can be a product for chemical laboratories, IndyCar, NASCAR, and Formula One, and all those people in the automobile industry, since they use bioethanol as a pure fuel for the race car. Since 2006, the production of the engine flex fuel had started, and companies like Nissan, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Chevrolet, Toyota, Bentley, GMC, Ford, Chrysler, and Kia had started to use this kind of technology on their vehicles. A flex fuel engine is the one that can work with gasoline, gasoline with bioethanol, or pure bioethanol. Several countries had implemented these kind of technologies, as I already said. Countries like the United States, Sweden, and Brazil are the most important. For example, Sweden has more than 1,200 retailers where they market E20 to E85. For the production process, what we need? We need ponds to cultivate the strain of microalgae. This is the first stage. We are going to use, as my partner said, wastewater as a growing media. After that, we are going to be in the filtration process where we are going to separate the microalgae from other sediments in order to give them a pretreatment where we are going to be adding alkaline salts to prepare the organic tissues for the fermentation. In the fermentation stage, we are going to use Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is the same yeast that the beer producers use. Then we are going to be in the distillation part. In this part, we are going to use different distillation columns where we'll be handle low pressure in order to minimize the use of energy. And after that, we'll be storing the ethanol to be distributed.
Here, you can see some of the pictures of the procedure of our prototype. My partner Sebastian is going to give you an sample of the microalgae that is the one that we are going to use in our processes.
We know that it looks great, but don't drink it. It's not alcohol yet.
We developed this prototype at the Center for Sustainability Development Studies at Tecnológico de Monterrey, and we're still doing research about the scalability of the process. In these different letters, our product and our processes were validated from different institutions and customers. Our prototype was validated from the Health Public State Laboratories of Coahuila as bioethanol with the correct characteristic and specifications required by our customers.
In order to start with this project, we need an initial investment of $1 million, and for that, we are able to share up to 40% of the company with an expected payback of 1.5 years. We have a break-even point on 400,000 liters which are going to be our initial sales per month, with an annual growing rate of 25%. We have an internal rate of return of 99%. But we are always concerned about the community. That's why we are going to donate the biomass that we are not using to this University of Mexico, which is working on research about some crops and biofertilizants. For these things and more, we can say that we have a viable product, a sustainable bioenergetic. Bioethanol is the fuel of the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Question I have is to produce, I think you said you wanted 400,000 liters as your break-even point. What size of facility are you going to need to be able to produce that much of the fuel?
Okay, just wait a minute. Do I have a slide for that? Oops. Oops. Okay. For that production, we need 600 liters, 600,000 liters, and it needs we need 2,000 pounds of one square meter each. We need in total 2,000 square meters, and we have a land which is 240,000 meters square meters for the production. You're welcome.
Good morning. My question, you stated that your chief advantage was lowest cost of goods sold compared to competitors. Could you go into that a bit more? How do you know that you're lower than other competing technologies?
Okay, the cost of our production is lower because we're going to use another process that the competence is already using, and we're not going to use as much as energy as they are using. We are going to use different machineries they use like gravity, for example, in order to obtain the process that is required. And here you can see a comparison chart. We're the first one, and our resource is microalgae, and the unit cost of production per liter is $0.25. Algenol, that is the competition, this is already using microalgae, but they are using another process. The cost of production is 0.37, and for the production from corn, sorghum, and sugarcane, they have this price 0.51. So that's why we have the lowest cost of goods sold.
A couple questions there. A lot of people have been trying to turn wastewater into usable products for some time. One of the problems has been is that wastewater contains a lot of other stuff, heavy metals, other things that. Have you looked into what if this process will work with what's really out there in wastewater?
Yeah, first we are going to collect this wastewater from some Mexican companies that they give a pre-treatment before that don't contain these things like metal things or stuff like that. It's just water with some sediments that are organic, that are the things that we need to feed the strain of the microalgae.
Okay, so is that included in that 25 cents of cost
Yeah.
of goods sold?
Yeah.
Okay, and so what is unique about your microalgae versus the competitor, and how have you going to protect that?
Okay, we are trying to do this patent about our process. The competence that is Algenol, they have the patent of their process but the process is completely different. So we are going to protect our process with patents, so we can also get money, because if we want to make a license of the use of our technology in another countries or in another continents.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks. So, in addition to the competition and the pricing question, one of my, concerns has to do with, there was a slide where you had various process steps, and the very last one had to do with distribution. I don't know if you remember which slide I was talking about.
Yeah.
But you had maybe 5 scientific steps, and then one that just dealt with getting the product to market.
Yeah.
That might have been it. So, yes, sale and distribution of bioethanol. So maybe you could just elaborate on that. That seems to me to be at least as complicated as the science behind it, right? I mean, this is an enormous opportunity. Have you considered partnering with other organizations, or?
Oh, yeah, we have considered, and we have people helping on this part. We have this business developer that is in Mexico, that is the one that is advising us on how to go into Pemex. We are not now thinking in a partnership with another company. We are going to do this. Mexico, or in this company Pemex, they already have 6 contracts with companies, but they are not a company that produces only bioethanol. They are more liquor producers. So that's why we are not making this partnership with all those people.
And of what you're saying about the distribution of the product, the location of our company is going to be near to these 3 refineries that are the one that we're going to distribute. So the transportation process, we're going to do it for an outsourcing, and our company is like right there, and here are the 3 refineries. Yeah, so they are near from us.
Questions from the audience here. So companies in countries around the world are already beginning to deliver this solution, such as ExxonMobil. How do you plan to break into this already crowded market and differentiate yourself and your solution?
So first we're going to try to be in Mexico because as you can see in this map, Mexico is just going to start with these 3 states. Before going outside the country, we are going to be covering all this demand in Mexico. This is a first stage of blending bioethanol. They are going to be expanding the market since they have ready these refineries to blend bioethanol. So that's why they are the first and potential customer inside the country before then going outside the country.
And well, our differentiators is like our cost of production and the environmental part.
Okay. Actually, this is a good question. How involved? You listed a lot of very talented experts at the beginning. How involved are they in your company? Are they very active? Are they just kind of like lending their name?
No, we were working with the people at the top of making the prototype. We were together working in the laboratories of the Center for Sustainable Development Studies, and we were together working. It's not like they're here to say, yeah, I'm here helping you. No, we are working together.
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
And the guys from in this part, they were helping us like with the business model and supporting us in those areas that we were like having problems. So they were part of make it our project stronger.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Have the potential customers? Have you already vented this with the customers, and have they expressed interest?
Yeah, we have a talk with Pemex, and they say that we have the official propose that we have. Well, we cannot propose it because we don't have the money yet. But once we have the money and we have the company, if we have all the requirements of the bioethanol that this laboratory prove that we have, we can go inside and sell our product.
Mm-hmm. And you passed around the little demonstration. So,
Yeah.
so how far along are you? Like, how big of a production do you already have going, or demonstration?
This is just the microalgae. It's not fermented.
Yeah.
It don't have the yeast. It's just the strain of the spirulina.
Yeah.
And to grow, it takes like 15 days to produce 600,000 liters.
Yeah. So this is not the product. This is just the type of microalgae that we are going to use.
Okay. So you haven't tried this like some small scale production or anything
Yeah,
like that?
but we have it in Mexico, but because the airports don't allow us to pass like
Okay.
alcohols and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, all right. What's that? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Going to your financials. What assumptions are this financials based on?
Okay, the financials are based on the market that we have. Pemex needs 123 million of liters per year of bioethanol, and we are able to produce 6 million liters per year. That's why we settled the initial sales on 400,000 liters that are based off.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome.